Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another video featuring your favorite resident curiosities keeper, me. Quick side note, I have written a script for this video just to keep me on task focused and also remember all of the facts that we're going to be discussing in this video. So if you see me looking slightly off camera, that's what I'm looking at. So in this video, we will be discussing various types of dolls, seeing my incredible thrift store haul that just happened, I want to say 3 or 4 days ago. It's going to blow your mind. And also digging a little bit deeper into collector grade dolls, what that means, how they're graded, all of that stuff. We're also going to go through a brief history of Mattel's collector editions, as well as some of my personal favorites out of those collector edition dolls. This video is ultimately a precursor to an upcoming restoration video. And I'm hoping it'll serve as a good foundational knowledge of what to look for while thrifting or recovering old Barbies or other dolls. So, first, let's go ahead and start out with discussing Mattel's first and my personal absolute favorite collector's line, the Happy Holidays Barbie. This line is considered to be one of the most prized collections simply because it was the first glimpse into the design and execution of Mattel's collector grade Barbies. This was very exciting. It was a huge time for Mattel. You know, as we know, the 90s were the golden years for Mattel, so really this was the beginning of their golden years. The Happy Holidays line began in 1988, and to be honest, it was kind of a Hail Mary for Mattel. Times were great with Barbie, and demand from adult collectors became very apparent. Mattel, I feel, wasn't really sure how to handle that demand or how to handle the adult collectors market. So, you know, with the first launch of Happy Holidays, I don't think that they expected it to be really what it was. I can't imagine being a Mattel designer at that time, hoping that what was produced met demands without any sort of feedback whatsoever. All, you know, adult collectors were saying was, we want more collector's grade dolls, not really giving any direction as to the design or execution. So again, as a person who both, you know, makes dolls, repaints them, creates them, I can't imagine how anxiety-ridden those designers were. You know, and after all, Mattel wasn't really intending to be met with the demands of an adult collector's market. At that time, they were marketing towards children. It was a children's toy. So they weren't really sure what they were going to be looking at for the adult collectors. So again, they came out with the first Happy Holidays collector's grade doll in 1988. The very first Happy Holidays Barbie sold out immediately in the first day, and demands rose for production faster than Mattel could keep up, creating this sort of niche secondary sales market of collector dolls and propelling the value of Happy Holiday dolls made between 1988 and 1992 to easily 10 times their sales price. For example, a brand new in-box 1988 Happy Holidays Barbie can sell for as high as $800 in the current market. And the market isn't really great for collector's dolls. That should show you something about the value. The adult collector market was really born with the 1988 Happy Holidays Barbie. She was incredibly beautiful. I mean, I was just taken aback. I can't believe what those designers pulled out of their butts, man. But anyways, the following year, 1989, was difficult for Mattel to meet market demands in this niche. So they decided to release 2 collector's grade dolls. One was the Pink Fantasy doll, which was released in spring, and it was not a Happy Holidays doll, and it was only given to a very small amount of attendees to a particular convention that Mattel was holding. So Mattel thought, oh wow, with this, you know, incredibly small amount, and you know, this is going to be great. Everyone ended up not really being too excited about Pink Fantasy. You look for Pink Fantasy now on the collector's market, and you're not really going to find a huge demand for it, because it felt very forced and almost like, oh well, let's take the pressure off Happy Holidays by releasing this spring collection, and it just didn't work out that great. People were really, collectors were already very invested in Happy Holidays. They wanted Happy Holidays. They didn't want a Pink Fantasy Barbie. They wanted Happy Holidays. The release of Pink Fantasy slightly decreased the resale value of the 1989 Happy Holidays Barbie, but even still, demands could not be met for the Happy Holidays line, and she sold out immediately as well. After this triumph, the years leading into the final Happy Holidays Barbie are widely considered to be Mattel and Barbie's golden years. People were going nuts for Happy Holidays. Lines were wrapping around 5 to 6 hours waiting for these Happy Holidays Barbies. I mean, for the millennial kids, these were our golden days with Barbie. So by about 1998, close to the turn of the century, the collector craze had died down, and Mattel made the decision to end the Happy Holidays line, which absolutely no one agreed with, unfortunately. But I understand why they decided to do that. At that time, Barbie was starting to decrease. Barbie sales were starting to decrease quite drastically with the release of Monster High dolls and some different Bratz dolls, things like that. So Barbie made the decision to cut Happy Holidays. This makes my heart break to say. But they made the decision to cut Happy Holidays, and I understand why. They wanted to go ahead and go back to the drawing board and focus on basics and figure out what they can do to compete with this new market. These dolls were so completely different than Barbie that it was very difficult for Mattel to get a hold of their design and their direction. At this time, it was a critical time for them. So I understand why they cut it. I don't think that it was the right decision, but we're not going to talk anymore about that because it's done. Since then, the collector's dolls Mattel has put out seem, to me at least, to lack direction. There isn't a solid commercial line for collectors like Happy Holidays. Instead, we're met with surprise collector dolls like Millennium Princess and Holiday Barbie, or some famous Audrey Hepburn Barbie. There really isn't any cohesiveness to me for a particular collector line like there was with Happy Holidays. The great thing about Happy Holidays was that it was a collector's edition of doll that was cohesive, that you could add to every single year. So that was really the appeal of it. You'll see a lot, if you go onto eBay and search Happy Holidays Barbie, you see a lot of lots of the complete collection of Happy Holidays. So with all this back and forth kind of like, we don't really know what we're doing with our collection grade dolls, it is a little bit frustrating for adult collectors, but I am also happy with the creativeness that they've shown in the past few years. So I really can't complain too much. But, as Mattel continues to struggle to find traction in the adult market, Happy Holidays dolls continue to gain value, with adult collectors really wanting the nostalgia that comes with them. Again, The whole, you know, appeal of Happy Holidays was that you could have the entire collection instead of just, you know, here's one doll, here's another doll, there's no cohesiveness, whatever. But also, these were the dolls that we played with. So we're adults now, we're collectors now, and these are the Barbie dolls that we remember getting. If you got a Happy Holidays Barbie when you were a little girl, that was a big deal. Okay, so, you know, it's the nostalgia for us at this time, which is why the prices are starting to rise again. We're all growing up. We've all, you know, got jobs and stuff like that. And many adults still absolutely love Barbie. So, you know, that's cool. Now, we're going to change lanes to collector's grade dolls. These dolls should be higher quality than play grade dolls, or as we call them in the Barbie world, pink boxes, since they used to be sold exclusively in pink boxes. Their garments should be high quality fabric and well constructed. They should have detailed makeup without imperfections. They should also have well thought out high grade accessories. To me, each Happy Holidays doll tells some story, like the 1996 Barbie, clothed in fur, velvet, and silk, sporting a very Victorian look. This Barbie really reminded me of A Christmas Carol, and I can vividly recall naming her Carol as a kid because it just reminded me so much of A Christmas Carol. The whole Victorian look, it was just gorgeous. The 1997 edition with her almost ribbon candy trim red gown reminded me of the Nutcracker. So you can absolutely see the designer's direction with these dolls, which is yet another piece that adds value. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at my thrift store haul from last week. Before the reveal, I would like to note that I purchased these from a secondhand store that wraps dolls in some sort of fishnet material. It's a little hard to explain, but you can't see through it. So I really couldn't see anything but just a little teeny bit of their skirts. And let me tell you, I was in for an absolute shock when I got home and unwrapped them. So I get home, I tear open the package, and let's take a look at the highest value and one of my all-time favorite Happy Holidays dolls. And it is the 1989 Happy Holidays Barbie that was mentioned earlier. As you can see, although out of the box, she's still in amazing shape. All of her clothing is still intact, all the way down to her stole. You see her little stole. This is completely removable. This is what I'm talking about with high-grade accessories. If you look at just the stole itself, take a look at this. So you've got fur on one side, right? And they've actually taken the time. This is a little bit fused because it's a little bit old. They've actually taken the time to tack down every so often, tack this together so that it is always with the fur showing. This is a high-grade accessory. A lot of thought was put into this. Normally with Barbies, they would not do anything like this. I don't know if you guys look at your kids' Barbies or anything like that, but you don't see accessories like this anymore, okay? Let's see. She has, and I've thoroughly checked her over, she has no marks that I can see on her body or on her face or neck. She does absolutely need some work in her hair. Her hair needs to be restored, which shouldn't be too bad. It also looks like she lost her little snowflake hair clip with the little, red sprouts coming out. Those are both really easy fixes. I'm also planning on restoring the yellowing Velcro on her dress. as you can see, this Velcro has yellowed. That is perfectly normal for a Barbie of her age. Please keep in mind, she is the big 30 this year. This is a 30-year-old doll, almost in pristine condition, right down to her shoes. What Barbie have you seen that still has her shoes on? What's the first thing that always goes missing on Barbie? It's her shoes. So you can tell that whoever owned this Barbie really, really loved her and took care of her. And I'm so happy that now I get to give her the love and respect that she deserves. Let's see. I wasn't going to put this in here and I wasn't going to say it because it sounds completely insane, but I'm not going to lie. When I unwrapped this doll, I burst into tears so badly that my husband ran upstairs and was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, through like blubbering, I'm like, I remember her. I remember playing with her and I missed her so much. So there's a glimpse into what it's like to live with me. I am going to talk a little bit about why I started crying. Okay, so I had this very emotional, visceral response, not because of her monetary value, but because I remember playing with her. When I was growing up, I wasn't in a great environment as a child. So playing with Barbies allowed me the freedom to escape, as well as the feeling of being in control of something. I was able to live out my dreams through Barbie. I was able to work through problems with Barbie. I was able to have a happy family with Barbie. Which is why I am such a huge advocate of all children playing with dolls, any dolls. Because children do see themselves in dolls. They express a lot of things that they don't feel safe expressing themselves through dolls and through play. So I think playing with dolls is extraordinarily important. I am a grown woman with 2 children and I still play with dolls. So, and so let's not make this video 45 minutes long. Let's move on to the second find. Now, this Barbie does not have much monetary value, but nevertheless, she is absolutely stunning. And at some point, it looks like I have missed an accessory. She is missing an accessory. I know exactly where it is. Okay, so normally I will de-accessorize these Barbies because I want to keep them all together, but and it's the 2014 Holiday Barbie, not to be confused with the Happy Holidays Barbie. This is just a Holiday Barbie. She is absolutely pristine for an out-of-the-box doll and has all of her accessories intact down to her shoes again. I mean, look at this gorgeous necklace. This gorgeous necklace that she has. And it goes all the way around. That's, again, high-grade accessory. High-quality accessory. Okay? And then, here you can see what I mean by collector-grade dolls should have high-quality makeup. If you take a look, come on, detect her face. You can do it. There we go. There we go. It's a little bit hard to get that sheen on there. But she has, this beauty has a glitter liner that transitions into a smoky eye perfectly. She also does not need much work at all other than some light defrizzing and maybe adjusting her gown to stay up a little better, which I can do with fashion tape or double-sided sticky tape. That will not harm fabric, by the way, if you ever want to do that. So now you can see why I cried. I never would have expected this find, and to be honest, this is so rare that I don't expect it to happen ever again. I also don't plan on selling either Barbie, and I'm not a seller really at all. I'm more of a collector / hoarder of Barbies, depending on whether you ask me or my husband. Now, I want to talk for a minute about my absolute favorite collector grade dolls. And I have 3 of them. I'm gonna go from 3 to 1. So number 3 is the 2008 Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds Barbie from the Black Label edition. Yes, Mattel has a secret club that releases exclusive Barbies. They have a gold membership, a black membership, all of those you have to pay to be a part of, but a lot of adult collectors do pay to be a part of those collections because they want the very rare dolls. And just because they're rare does not mean that they're valuable monetarily, okay? I really love this doll because the accessories that they used and her posing really tells a story. When I was 5, my grandparents let me watch The Birds, and it absolutely terrified me to my core, to the point where I am still terrified of birds to this day as an adult. But I'm weird, and I like to get things that scare me. I also wanted to note that while these crows are literally pecking her apart, she still has the iconic Barbie smile, which is just really funny and also kind of ironic to me. I don't know, I'm odd, and I like Barbies for what they make me feel, not how valuable they are. On to number 2, the 1989 Holidays Barbie! I just love this Barbie so much. I really do. She was so on trend at the time, and like she was just so like she seemed to me to be like, look at that. Like, I don't know, just the epitome of beauty for that time. And you know, she was just so on trend. She was the first fancy, as I called them when I was a child, Barbie that I ever had or got to play with. She became a princess, a queen, an angel, a bride. She was just so versatile. And I will treasure those memories forever. So, of course, she's one of my favorites. And finally, number 1. And the Barbie that I've been looking for quite a long time. The 1994 Happy Holidays Barbie. This was the first brunette that made it into a bona fide collector's line, and I think it's pretty obvious why she's my favorite of all time. I mean, let's face it, I'm not blonde, and nor was I born to be blonde. So, also, knowing how and why I played with dolls, it's no surprise I value her most because I can see myself in her. Also, just golden fur. Like, what little or big person wouldn't go absolutely nuts for her? I mean, she's got the poofy sleeves. It's the oh my god, that gold lame was just insane. I couldn't believe it. So I love her so much. Anyway, so now that we've laid the groundwork, I'm excited to upload the restoration video. I'm excited to upload the restoration video. Please keep me in your thoughts. I will be an absolute train wreck with nerves trying to restore my favorite 30-year-old Barbie doll, and I absolutely know it, so please keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I would also like to note that this video is a huge, just general overview of collector dolls and the history of Mattel in general. It's intended for newbies, kids, hobbyists, to get a quick rundown without having to memorize 500 different abbreviations. With that said, I hope you liked the video. Please give a like or comment if you did, and also let me know if you have anything that you'd like me to address in the next video while I'm restoring. Thank you so much for watching. Adios. Keep creating.